Well, good day to you all, and well, this is my first video that I've done to pop into the Fans of Crafters Companion on QVC page. I believe it is, and I couldn't help it. But I thought, let's do a little video, because if you've seen Sarah earlier on today, now if you are watching this on the Wednesday, then you'll have seen her earlier on today. If not, maybe you've still got to catch up with her. However, we did have our brand new glitter paste on the show, and these are exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Because when it comes to your glitter paste, the amount of things, the amount of mediums that you can put them on is absolutely phenomenal. Sarah did cover many of those within the actual show, but I thought, let's do a video. Let's do a 20 minute video or so, whereas we can be having a play with the actual glitter paste as well as some of the stencils, because you had a few options when it came to QVC today, and in actual fact they're still on the QVCUK.com website, where there's a bundle where you've got a couple of stencils, 3 of the glitter paste and the tools as well. Then there's another bundle where you've got 4 other stencils within one pack, and then you've got another option where, in actual fact I've got them here, where you've got 3 glitter pastes, or there is another option where you can go for another 3 colours when it comes to the glitter paste. So I thought, let's have a little bit of a dabble, because there's so much fun to play with the glitter pastes. They really are. There's something that we've not done before within the Crafters Companion. Well, certainly Spectrum Noir range. So Spectrum Noir, all about colour. No surprise that the glitter pastes are exceptional. So as I was classing it, the main bundle that Sarah had on the show, where you got 2 of your stencils, 3 of your glitter paste and 3 of your spatulas, I've got them here in front of me. So let's go up above, because you do get your spots and dots. You've also then got your delightful butterflies. You then get your candlelit gold, or candlelight gold. You've also then got your silver moon, and then you've also got your rose gold. So all of them, plus your 3 spatulas that you've got here, your 3 palette knives. These all came within a set. And I thought, let's have a little play when it comes to that set here. There was, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the other stencils that I was talking about. Tell you what, we can go over them as well. Let's have a wee look at them, because they're all going to work together. They'll all work beautifully together, in actual fact. But that set that I just showed you there, it's just nice to have a set kind all together. What I'll do in the actual status of this video, I'll put the item number. Actually, I'll put the link to the item on the QVC website. And then our additional stencils. So these all came within a 4-pack, and say 4 packs, but within each one you've got 3 stencils that complement. You've got your 8.5 by 8.5, then you've got your strip as well as your icon. So you do have your peacock feathers in this one here. And then what you've also got is you've then got your swirls and flourishes. You've then also got your love hearts. And then you've also got your Art Deco. Love that one. Really do like that. And actually that sort of style, that ombre colour, that's kind of what we're going to do when it comes to what we're going to make just shortly. So that's on the QVC UK website as well. And then the other options that you've got when it comes to the glitter paste. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, when I went on and had a look, these are 1 item number, and you just need to choose which one that you want. So within one of the options, you've got Starlight Blue, Peony Bloom, and Regal Purple. So that's one option. And then in the other option, you've got Jade River, you've got Copper Beach, and then you've also got Moonlit Frost as well. So that is your additional option. And then there is additional tools in that on the website as well. You know, if you want to grab a hold of them, you'll see me using the palette knives and that just in a minute. So with the glitter paste, we'll go on so many different mediums and materials, absolutely loads. What I like is I like to do, well, I've got one here. So this is the dots with the rose gold. So this one that I've got here is actually kind of using that bit of a starter set as I was showing. And this is just onto our white multi-purpose cardstock. So our white multi-purpose cardstock. It takes, depending on the material you're putting it on, cardstock or that, something porous like that, it takes about half an hour to be touch dry, maybe not even that, but like anything that is wet, I would always leave it overnight. Always leave it overnight just to make sure. And then I've got my gold onto my acetate as well. How fabulous is that? Now I know certainly back in the day I spent an absolute fortune on glittered acetate, whereas you could be doing your own with all of these ones, just a heavyweight acetate, and that always works best. But because of the medium of it, you can go on to a lighter weight acetate if you want to, but certainly your heavyweight acetate is going to be spot on, especially if you want to then start to create boxes when it comes to the actual foiled acetate, glittered acetate. So let's go in and let's use the Delightful Butterflies, and I'm going to go on to black cardstock. Now you don't have to glitter the whole area of the cardstock, so mine's a 6x6 and I'm only wanting to cover 6x6. You can cover the whole of the stencil and then chop it down after it is dried, but potential or there's a tendency of wasting those strips if you're not going to use them. So the other thing to do is just cut your cardstock to the size that you want, and then you can be using it that way. So I'm just going to go onto my multimedia mat here. You can just go onto a glass mat or your table, workstation, wherever it is you can be going onto. And then what we'd recommend is our repositionable spray for your stencils. Now I know they were on the QVC UK website, but if you've not got a hold of them, then it's not a necessity as such. You can use a tape, like I'll show you in a moment. So let's go in with our butterfly, so our Delightful Butterfly, and I'm just going to go in with the 8x8 stencil. You do have, as you'll see, kind of like the icon as well as the strip. So you've got them ones. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, not that it matters if it's straight or not, but what I am just going to do is make sure it's relatively straight onto my workstation, whether it is my multimedia mat, whether it's a glass mat, table, wherever it is. I'm just going to make sure it's relatively straight. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some of our low tack tape here. So this is for those that don't have our repositionable sprays. All that I'm going to do is create a hinge at the top. So I'm going to create that hinge at the top. If you wanted to secure this with a little bit of your double-sided tape or that, then you can do, just so that you know that it's not going to move. So if I put it in there, and then I'll just need to reposition that one into there. So then that just means now that we are all good to go. So I'm going to go in with my spatula. So you do have 3 of them. So you've got your straight spatula, you've got the one with the point and at the angle, and then you've got the one that's at the angle, but you've got that round tip. I prefer this one. You can go with whatever one you feel comfortable with, but I prefer this one. And then I'm going to go in with my pastes here. So I'm going to go in. Now this one is our rose gold. So I just need to take that off. And I'm just going to set them in front of me. Let's go in with our silver. Now I am going to be using the gold and silver together. So let's just take this one. As you can tell, I've not used the silver one as of yet. Well, not my own one anyway. So let's go in. I always, where possible, I try and keep this film lid intact. And then once I'm finished, I just fold it back over itself. But as we can see, it's not working. It's not playing ball today. So it's not essential. As long as your lid is back on securely afterwards, then you'll be all good. And then let's go in with our gold. So you can see I've been using that one already. So I think the way that I'm going to do is I'm going to go a bit of an angle. So let's do let's do our rose gold, our gold, and our silver in the middle. So you can go in one direction if you want to, that's up to you. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. Now I've got a wet wipe here to the side of me and a microfiber cloth, because each time I'm finished with each colour I want to make sure I give it a really good clean. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bit off, and then I'm just going to go into one corner, and then I'm just going to spread that to where I want it to be. Now if you are using a low tack tape, just be careful when you're doing it this way that the glitter little bits don't seep underneath. This is where the best thing is your repositionable tape. However, it's not the end of the world, as I say. If you don't have one, you can just be using your low tack tape. So I've just gone in to here and very roughly I've gone in and infilled. Any little bits there I can go in, just touch it up, add that on like so, and then scrape off. So this is where I'm going to come in with my wet wipe, and then I'm going to dry that off. And then when it comes to colours, meeting into colours, I like to then go to the opposite side first. So I'm going to go in with the gold, and then I'm just going to come in, and I'm not being overly cautious with this one, I'm not being overly neat, because what we're going to end up doing with the silver is infilling in the middle. So all that I'm wanting to do is just making sure that I get a nice coverage, and then scraping that excess off. We don't want to waste it. And then let's go back once again, just taking all that excess off straight away. And then we can go in with our silver, well caught there. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm just adding a little bit throughout here. And the colours are going to mix, of course, but I don't want to have a lot of silver left that's going to have mix of colours, otherwise I'm not going to be able to put it in back into its original container. So if I just do a little, it just means if I have got any left that's got a mix of colour, then it's only a little bit that I need to decant into a spare container I've got, because of course if it's mixed with gold and gold and copper, I'm not going to put it back in with my original silver. So just going to go in, and in some ways it's kind of like I'm blending together. So I'm just blending them together, giving it a scrape off. Any excess you can go into a spare container that you will have to hand. Just mix a bit of that in together, and then what we can then do, we've got very little left, which is good. Just means I can go straight in by cleaning it. And then at this point, just make sure that your lids are back on nice, secure and tight. So let's turn that one in. And then what we can do is then let's go, now because we've created our hinge at the top, makes it easier to lift up. So we're just going to lift, hold, wow, look at that. How awesome is that? Never ever ever do I get fed up of glitter pastes. And we've started to blend that copper into the silver, and then the silver into the gold. Now that, because it's on a black matte cardstock, that'll take maybe about 20 minutes to be touch dry. And then, as always, as I was saying before, I would always leave it overnight to dry, just to make sure. So then all that I'm going to do here is, I'm going to take this excess off my mat. So let's just take all of that off. And then what you can do with the excess that is on your stencil, let's just give this bit of wipe. I'm just going to move that. Actually, I'm not going to move that out of the way. I'm going to come in. I'm going to bring in a bit of black cardstock, could be white, could be any cardstock that you want, and just act as if I am a way to clean this. So if I go in, and I'm just going to go in with a wet wipe or so, and then just give this, as if I'm giving it a clean, and you will dilute your glitter paste, the waste that is on your stencil, and you will dilute it as you're popping it through. However, what you will get is you will then start to get the fibres that are starting to come to life because of the wetness within the cloth, but then you're going to be left, and look at that, like a sparkly silhouette sort of feel. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? And then what you could do if you wanted to, let me just dampen that off. Let's move this out the way for now. Now, of course, you've still got glitter and you've still got sparkle and all that in there, but what you could do is if you have got, let's see, I am looking for a glitter. I am looking for a clear glitter. Oh, I know where I've got one. I know, bear with me. Bear with. I know where we've got one, because although that's got sparkle in it, and it looks lovely, let's just add a wee bit more sparkle over the top, and let's do it with that sparkle, the luxury iridescent glitter that came in with Sarah's Once Upon a Time that she also had on the show today. So let's take a bit of scrap underneath. Actually, I'll need a bigger bit of scrap. So let's go, all that I'm doing, as you'll see, it would be better if you could see from over the top. So what I'm going to do is let's just go in, and any of the stickiness that's left is going to stick. Oh, look at that. Ooh. So you're still going to get some of that fine glitter flickering through from the glitter paste that you've just washed off, but then what you're also then going to get is, what, depending on whatever glitter that you use, is then going to stick not only to the surface but where you've gone in those little apertures to clean out. And you can leave that to dry, and then you can then come along and then just chop that up, neaten it up, and that can be a card or a project. So, oh, I like that. I'm glad I thought of that. So all that I'm just doing is just decanting all this back in to the container. Now, the one that we've just gone in with the glitter paste on, the butterfly, the reason I'd already cut that down to size is so that we could at least finish making a card front in the video. So it's cut to size. All that I'm just going to do is very quickly, just while we're still here, is go in and just make sure that it's nice and clean. Lukewarm water would be best, and I'm going to do that just after we have finished this video. The main thing is you've got all of your glitter away, the chunkiness is away, so there's nothing infilling all of the gaps, so that should be fine. And I'm just going to give my mat a clean too, so going in like so. I'm just going to move this out of the way for now, and then what we can do is, I've got a couple of layers that I've already pre-cut. So the layer that we've just gone in with the glitter pastes, I have done with black cardstock and white cardstock that we can see here. So it's going to make an 8x8 card. So I've got an 8x8 card blank, and then my black layer is 7, and it's not 8x8, I think I cut it shorter, yeah. So my layer is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. My black card is 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then my white is 7 by 7. So once we have got them, so you can see I've got my initial layer, mat and layer together. I'm just looking for my tape runner, which is here. And then what this is going to do is this is going to frame my work. However, because we did do it onto 6x6 black matte cardstock, it does mean that I could go onto a 6x6 card or trim it a little bit smaller, and then therefore I'll give you the chance to do a matte and layer. And then what I've done is I've gone in with another piece of white multi-purpose that's 6x6, and I've given myself a very fine frame. Now this is from kind of like a teal mirror card that I had within my stash. So within any of the card bundles that Sarah's brought to you previously, you'll be able to use something like that. But any mirror card would use, but I just thought the teal just sets off the actual layers that we've done. And then if I bring this one in now, as you can see, I am going to be careful because it's still wet. So in actual fact, I will dry it after, or not dry it afterwards, I'll stick it on afterwards. Let's just pop that in there so you can kind of get that idea. And then using a die that I've just got from my stash, what I've done is just die cut it, and then that will go into the middle. So if I start to tilt it ever so slightly, you can see that gorgeous glitter from that glitter paste. And then that could be in the middle, that could be down the middle, whatever sentiment that you've got at home. But if I bring in this one that I also done, so exactly the same way, however this one was done with the peacock stencil, and I went in with the Moon Frost, the Jade River, and also the Copper Beach. So these three are in one glitter paste bundle, and then you've got your stencil there from your peacock feather, which is from the 4-pack of stencils that you can see there. So that's what I mean, that could have been just a 6x6 card blank if you want, but then if we bring this one in, that'll fully assemble afterwards once it's all dry. That can then go into there, or you can do a stamped image or a tiny little sentiment. You can do whatever you like when it comes to your image. But then there we go. How cool is that? So whether it's creating an ombre between 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, you might just want to do 1, that's up to you. Just do one of them when it comes to your white multi-purpose. You might want to go with a gold when it comes to your acetate. So your acetate onto your white looks wow, but then your acetate onto the black looks even more fabulous. So there we go. Just a little video that I thought what we'll do is we'll just film and then we'll post up. So if you are want to get your hands of it, like I say, I will pop the link to the main bundle anyway. When I say that main bundle, I'm saying it's like a starter where you're getting the actual starter kit, the stencils, forgot the word there, you're getting the 2 stencils, so it's 6 in total because you're getting 3 in a pack. You're also getting 3 of your glitter paste, and then you're also going to get your 3-pack of your spatulas as well, or palette knives when it comes to applying your actual stencil with the glue. So there we go. Oh, let's not forget as well our butterfly, that waist one. So what I will do is once these have all dried, I will firmly make them into cards, and then I will pop them in this group as well, the Fans of Crafters Companion on QVC. Hopefully that you like this video. Let me know in the comments, and you never know, I might start to do more of these sorts of videos. But yeah, we'll see you later on. Bye.